You know how we do. What's up, everybody? Welcome.
You got an echo.
I don't.
Okay, we're good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome. To Mark's page. But you're still on the block with Jen, because you know everywhere I go, you on the block with Jen, no matter where I'm at.
With your New York head on.
Huh?
With your New York head on.
Yes, I'm giving you the whole the whole Bronx outfit. I got the red lip, the bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. You know what I mean? The red top. You know how we do. The Puerto Rican girls in the Bronx. This is what we do. This is the uniform.
This is the uniform.
This is the uniform. Any summer you walk. You know, you walk onto the Bronx, and this is the uniform right here. There's at least 5,000 of us on. You know what I mean? In every neighborhood in this outfit right here.
Is there 5,000 people in the Bronx?
No, I'm sure there's more than that. I'm exaggerating, 5,000 people per block, but you know. There's the parade outfit too. There's the official parade outfit too.
Oh, for the Puerto Rican.
Yes. So what's poppin'? I guess there's no parade this year, which breaks my widow heart.
No, it's not one in Chicago either.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy right there. But you know, it's what we gotta do till they stop messing with us. So what are we talking about?
Who is they?
Who's they?
No, I was just joking.
The Caucasians. The Caucasians.
Yeah.
Until they stop messing with us, you know what I mean? It's what we got to put up with while we live in this, you know, country of theirs. So, you know.
So
don't get me started on that. I go militant and I get blocked again.
Yeah, were you afraid of Candyman when it came out?
I never saw Candyman.
You never saw Candyman?
I never saw Candyman, but I feel like I've seen it because so many people have posted about it and talk about it. And
you take your black card, your Afro Latino card.
Never saw Candyman. Was it scary? Because that guy looked corny to me.
Watch it.
Okay.
Watch it.
There's a couple of them out, right?
Yes, but watch the first one.
I will. Yes, sir. I'll put that on in my homework notes.
Yeah.
Got a lot of homework this week.
He may seem corny now because so much time has passed.
Mm-hmm.
Back then.
Okay, so he's not seeing.
No.
What's today's subject? Today's subject is
Freddy Krueger may be corny to you.
No, but I'm gonna get into that. What's today's subject?
That's what we leading into. Our black horror films realistic.
Okay, so today's subject is, are black horror films realistic? And what makes horror films realistic, if you could suspend disbelief, right, is that they're really scary. There's a possibility that can happen. Or I think a good horror film connects something that everyone fears already, right? People fear sharks. People fear people climbing into your window. People fear dying in their sleep, right? So I think that makes a good horror film. But, you know, Freddy Krueger is not corny. Freddy Krueger is still scary.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. If you think Freddy Krueger is scary, then you'll think Candyman is scary.
I gotta watch it. I can't really say. I can't say.
Because he played the hell out of that role.
I cannot confirm nor deny. I'm not educated enough in the Candyman, you know, franchise to say yay or nay. He just looked like a regular guy to me. Like a regular.
That's what makes it scary.
He reminds me of like my high school dean. So I was like, what's scary about this guy? So was he killing people in it?
Yeah. What you think he was doing? Walking around selling Chicago Sun-Times?
He's from Chicago?
Chicago.
Maybe he was selling bean pies. I don't know.
Bean pies. He was walking around selling bean. No, he was a former slave.
Oh.
But he comes back. You know, you gotta see it.
Okay, but who is he killing? Because I would think if you're a former slave, you're gonna kill white kids.
No, he was killing some everybody.
Okay, well, I don't like it.
He's killing some everybody.
If you're a former slave, you should come back with a vengeance to kill white kids. That would make the most sense to me. I mean, all the white horror films kill all white kids. Why can't a horror film with a black lead kill all white kids?
He does.
Am I right? Am I right? All the horror films, the killer always kills a gang of white teenagers.
He does. You gotta watch the film. He comes back to the projects.
Okay, so I think a horror film with a black lead should also kill all white kids. That's the MO of horror film.
So he comes back to the projects, and in the projects, that's when he does most of his killing at.
But don't mostly black people live in the projects? Yeah, I'm not gonna like this movie. I'm not gonna like it. I'm not gonna like it. I'm gonna be a former slave and come back and kill some other oppressed people. What the fuck is that? Man, I'm not watching Candyman later for that. And white killers kill all white teenagers.
No, they don't. Not really.
Yes, they do.
Like what?
Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason. What the fuck is his name? Jason. They all kill a gang of white kids trying to have fun. Come on now. I'm not about to sit for an hour and a half and watch a black lead in a horror film kill a bunch of people, black folk in the projects.
But you have to watch it. It's really good. It's good. It's good.
I said we get a rewrite.
Have you seen The Children Under the Stairs?
No, I've seen The Children of the Corn. You haven't seen The Children Under the Stairs? No.
You have to see that.
No.
It's really good.
I honestly haven't. I'm just like the most popular horror films is what I was into back in the day.
Children Under the Stairs it was very popular. It's a classic.
Really?
Yes. It's called The Children Under the Stairs. It's a classic.
But not classic like Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger.
Well, because Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger, what makes them different is that they have so many sequels. Children on the Stairs was so good I didn't need the sequel.
Oh, it was just one.
It was just one.
So really there?
It was a husband and a wife.
Oh, a husband and a wife team killing people.
Yeah, but it was really everything. So they own a lot of property in the hood. And as a matter of fact, one of the leads, she's Afro, she's Puerto Rican. I forgot her, my Facebook friend too. But it was her. But that took place in New York.
Were they white, or so the Afro Latina was killing people?
No, so you have to watch the movie.
Okay.
It was really good.
So now I wish I would have watched horror films because I never watched Candyman. Huh?
Go ahead. What you say?
No, I said I wish I would have watched more for this topic because I've never seen those. I've just watched like the regular, you know what I mean, Freddy Krueger and Michael Myers and Jason and stuff like that.
I had to watch Children on the Stairs, Candyman, Tales from the Hood.
I love to. I've watched Tales from the Hood 1,000 times. That I've seen over and over and over again. I've seen that a lot.
So all right. So our black horror films, are they realistic?
Well,
Okay.
first you have to. First, are there any black horror films except for Get Out and Us?
Is Get Out really a horror film? That's more like Us. They're more like thrillers, though. Are they really horror films?
I guess not. But wasn't Us a horror film, or was that more like
a thriller?
Alfred Hitchcock.
No, I wouldn't say Alfred Hitchcock.
No,
it could be. I don't know.
I always thought
Hitchcock he's in like when you deal with him and Ross Sterling, they're like, you know, I don't too much compare anything to that work.
Okay.
I don't.
All right. So when you say is a black horror film realistic, I don't know any. Maybe somebody in the comments could maybe somebody in the comments could let me know. I don't know any black horror films. I know comedic black horror films, like all the films that the Wayans brothers do. Right. Like, but those are comedy. So is there a black horror film out that I don't know about, or black cast, black lead, black killer? Like, is there? I don't know. Is there?
So if you were to do a black horror film, right? If you were to do a black horror film, what would it be about?
I would definitely have the killer or more than one killer, and I would have him I'd have the white girl get killed off first, and then it'd be an all black cast, and the white girl would definitely get killed off first, right? That's something we've never seen. We get rid of her right away.
Yeah,
She'd be the first.
yeah, we have.
And then, huh?
Yeah, we have. We have seen that.
Have we?
In Scream, Drew Barrymore is killed off first in Scream.
Right, but how many of the people that they were killing were black?
Oh, you talking about like all black cats and the white girl killed? Okay, I thought you meant like we never seen the white girl get killed. Okay,
right, because I know white girls get killed, but it's an all fucking white ensemble cast.
Right.
Yeah, which one of them gets killed first? So what I would do is, or for all our writers and directors that are watching, write something where it's an all black cast and you have a token white girl. And she gets killed off first. I can't write everything. I'm already writing shit over here. So y'all get to writing something different. Have an all black cast with a killer and kill the white girl off first. It's not rocket science. I don't know why no one's done this yet. It's not fucking rocket science. Even if you do it independently with a fucking cell phone, you can shoot a movie with an iPhone. Even if you do it independently with 10 people on the cast, get you an all black cast, get you the token white girl, and you kill her first. And just for comic relief, have the black girl run and trip like the white girls normally do. This ain't rocket science, mi gente. Okay, we all got the same 24 hours, as you were saying.
So, realistically, right? In
Yes.
a black horror film, right?
Yes.
There's always this joke that black people will never get killed because black people are not standing around.
We don't stay, because we don't stay to find out what the noise is in the fucking closet or under the bed. Right? We don't fucking walk into the tool shed where all the weapons are and say, let's see what's going on. What was that noise? So if you do write, a horror film for all black cast, you have to cater it to how we would react to that type of shit. You know what I mean? And then still, but the challenge is to still make it dramatic and not comedic.
Okay, all right. Let me give you a scenario, right? You come home, right? Just got out of the shower. You're in your bed. You sit in your bed. You put lotion on, and you hear a knock like this in your closet. What do?
See, but then now it's gonna be a short film because I'm putting holes through my fucking closet door. So now we're talking about a short. I'm talking about a feature. We need a feature film. I'm not talking about a horror short. We need a feature in this bitch. You know what I mean?
Right. Or you sleep, right, and somebody just start shaking your bed from underneath.
Yeah, somebody getting stabbed up. But what's interesting? To answer the question, are black horror films realistic? We have to ask, can they be realistic? Because we don't have a slew of black horror films with all black cast and a black killer, right? So can they be realistic, right? Where we're not sitting there like, you're right, ain't no black person gonna stay for that. So maybe you can do more than one killer, and then if the killers are constantly getting killed off, that's realistic, right? Because we would fight.
What do you mean? The killers, like you have a black Jason and a black Michael Myers and a black Freddy Krueger.
Yeah, it have to be more than one because they're gonna get killed. Like, we're not having that. You know what I mean? Like, we fighting. So you have to have more than one killer. And then you can make it, you know what I mean, realistic for us. Or you can do what what's his name does? The one that did Us and Get Out.
Jordan Peele.
Yeah, or you could do what he does and make it like he casts and writes square characters. So
what you mean by square characters?
Square characters meaning, like, let's say if the average black or brown person, if they see some shit like that, we either running from it or it's fight or flight, and we're dead serious about fight or flight, right? So what's his name, Jordan Peele?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so when he writes the very square black person that does stay, and it's like, what's that in the closet, right? So either you're gonna do that, either you're gonna write.
Like the black dude, and I think he was like cracking a joke, or he's making mockery, like he was saying, like in Us, right? How the black dude fell down and was crawling like the white girl.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And then I noticed he always has like that, you know, he has like that one hardcore ghetto character because it was, remember the guy's friend in Get Out. The guy's friend in Get Out, and he was like, oh, yeah. So he has like that.
In Us.
I don't remember. I saw Us, but it was forgettable. And then I was pissed about it too. I felt like I wasted a fucking hour and a half of my life. So I don't remember if he had a hardcore character in
What didn't you like about Us?
I know that art, you know what I mean? I know that art is subjective or objective, whatever you want to say, and it's all in the eye of the beholder. But I don't like when directors and writers get so abstract that he's, you know, a writer and director, you still have to remember, people, that the average audience, right, isn't sometimes as creative, right, or as intuitive as you are, right, or as abstract as you are. So you still have to write so the average person can sit there and just enjoy the film. I don't want to sit there and watch a film and be like, what did he mean by that? But what does that mean? But if she walked in there, then why did, you know what I mean? Because it's like you're fucking beating off to your own work, and your audience is like, I don't know what the fuck I just saw. What does that even mean? You know, I don't like that type. I don't like that type of filmmaking unless you're doing like something like The Matrix. You know what I mean? That's a whole different situation. Yeah. But I'm like, it's a fucking horror film. I shouldn't have to be like, but if he would, I want to enjoy the film, right? If I want to decipher shit for 3 hours, I'll go watch The Matrix, right? So I feel like.
What is it about The Matrix that you can watch and decipher, but not Us?
Say again?
What is it about Matrix that you can go watch and decipher that, but not Us? But
because The Matrix is very much like, you know what I mean? First of all, it's very intellectual writing, right? And it's like like a puzzle, right? So the answers are all there, and the film takes you with, right? It takes you with, right? And then it develops. Now, there's a difference between that and somebody just being abstract with shit that's only in their mind, right? That's what I'm talking about. And sometimes creators is like, oh, you know what? I have always thought that red cups have a deeper meaning in my mind, and the red roundness of it means eternity. And when you hold this, you know what I mean? That's shit in your head. And when you put that in a film, everybody else who just sees a fucking solo cup is like, what the fuck is he? What is he talking about? What the fuck is he talking about? It's a fucking cup, right? So that's the difference. I mean, and in Us, like, you know, when I started watching, I was like, oh, this shit. Oh, wow, this is different. This is cool. And I'm watching and I was like, oh, wow, a family that has a double. This shit is this is crazy. This is dope, right? But then as it went on, it just got more stupid and more stupid. It wasn't climactic. The end was stupid. So I was just there like, what the fuck did I just watch? What the fuck? It's like, so he got you there and then he pulled out. And you're like, I was almost there. I was almost there, Jordan. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right? So yeah,
how would you compare that to Get Out?
Get Out was better. Get Out was better, but you know, I'm a fan of that subject. You know what I mean? I'm a fan of that subject as a whole. I'm a fan of, you know, Black people are superior. So of course you're gonna want their bodies and their organs. So he already had me. You know what I mean? That hello, because I'm a fan of that subject entirely. And I'm also a fan of, you know what I mean, showcasing the Caucasian for the evil level that they can go to. Because that's a fact, right? That's not even an insult. Like some people will be like, oh my God, but you know, back to Malcolm, like you can't deny the charges. Like, it's okay, white people. Like, this really is your character. You know what I mean? And I'm not, a lot of people are afraid of stereotypes, right? Let me tell you something. I jump headfirst into fucking stereotypes. If people say Puerto Rican women have a lot of babies, Puerto Rican women, they're very sexual. They're very sexual. Puerto Rican women, they give babies. Huh?
Talk a lot.
Puerto Rican women are crazy. Puerto Rican women stab you, right? All of those are stereotypes. But how am I, as a Puerto Rican woman, that falls under those categories and could check all of them off, why the fuck would I be offended? Like, people be offended at the truth, and that's what bothers me. So going back to white people, right? Their nature has been proven for centuries to be the most evil on the planet, right? So if you showcase that in a film, I don't think that they should be insulted, because even as a white person, you can look back and be like, damn, slavery for 400 years plus and oppression, we pretty fucking evil as a people, as a whole in general. Now, of course, you could say not all, not me. I would have been an abolitionist. I had that one black friend. So maybe not you. Just like maybe not every Puerto Rican woman you meet is going to be sexual and have a lot of babies and will cut you as crazy, right? But the majority, let's just talk about the majority, because people get mad as hell. Not all of us are like that. But if I can take 1,000 of any race or ethnicity, the majority of them are going to be doing a certain type of thing. You know what I mean? A certain type of thing. So I was a fan of Get Out because that is what he was showcasing. So I was pleased. You know what I mean? I was like, I could get with this. I could watch this. What is this about, right? But I think his follow-up, Us, was whack. It started dope, though. I love the concept of having a double family, because I was like, oh my God, where is this going? What if this happened in real life? What if you had a double in another part of the world? But then it fell flat. It wasn't. It fell flat. It was like,
well, if you had a double in another part of the world, trust me, with Facebook and social media, people have found out by now. So they just destroyed that myth.
That is the truth. It'd be too much for the planet. If the planet
was like, I got a guy in China look just like me.
Yeah, it would explode. So if you're going to, going back to Black horror films, like, you know what I mean? It's like we all have the same 24 hours, but it seems like sometimes we're afraid to venture out. We're afraid to, you know what I mean? Like, fucking say it, fucking do it. Like, why are you so scary? Like, and I always said, I'm going to rival Tarantino. This man has used the word nigger, countless times in films. I want to be the first Boricua to fucking do a film where, the word cracker is said as much as the word nigger is said. Like, why hasn't anybody done that? In the century of filmmakers that we've had, it's like nobody dares to like, oh, I don't, they're not scary. So why are we scary? And we can't say anymore, oh, well, then, the studios aren't going to accept the work, when you could shoot a film with an iPhone now. So that's not an excuse anymore, where you got to, you know what I mean, go along, get along to go along. And, those days are past, right? With that said, I know a bunch of scary Negroes. I have personal friends that are afraid to still do and say certain things, right? Huh?
Do and say certain things like that.
I have personal friends, mostly male, right, who will call me on something that I either posted or said in public, right? Like, shit, you sure you should be saying that? And it's always something that I said about white people, artistically or just a regular opinion, right?
Right.
Because I plan to showcase my thoughts artistically, but sometimes I will post something. But these are people, the personal friends I'm speaking of, they're in the business. They're in show business.
They're in the film business?
Yes, they're in the film business. And they're kind of like, oh, I wouldn't say that, because, they're really scared. And people don't realize they're strange.
You should put them in a scary movie then.
Yeah. I can cast the whole thing with my scary.
The whole thing be like, white people.
have white people come up and tap them on the shoulder. Right? It's like, and it's a great point. Like, we all live in a fucking horror film all the time, right? Because we're so scared of what the white man's gonna do if we say something that we're not.
Who's like in 2020? Who's afraid though? No, I don't want you to say no names, but who's afraid?
In 2020, who's afraid? Ask everybody who's watching. There's a lot of people that are afraid in 2020. Mucha gente are afraid in 2020 because they feel like the white man in entertainment is the way. And when you think just one thing is your source for great success, you're going to be very, very careful with your lip, right? Mm-hmm. But people are so fucking stupid. They don't realize there is strength in numbers. And I talk about, like, as far as filmmaking, because I want to stay on that, filmmaking and stuff, like there's strength in numbers. That cancel culture shit is gonna run out. You know why? Because you can't cancel everybody, or you're not gonna have
already run out.
Huh?
It's already out the door.
Yeah, it's like you can't cancel. We're not gonna have any celebrities left. If you cancel everybody, like you, and so it's like the more people that speak their fucking mind, the more people that double down, the more people that stick to their guns artistically, right? They can't cancel all of us. But if so many of us are scared, it's like it's hard for people like me, right? Because I got like 10 people behind me who's scared to create things that are very realistic.
So what was your idea? What would your ideal horror film look like?
My ideal horror film? I don't know who I would have. I mean, you're asking me on the spot, so I would have to. I need time to create, let's say, the villain, right? But I already know, already out the gate, that I would have a token white person, and the cast would be Black, brown, and Asian. That is my ideal horror film, and I would kill the white girl off first, and then we would never see her again. That is my ideal horror film. Now, as far as the killer and why he's killing and what his background is, I would need time to develop that. But out the gate, that would be my ideal. That would be my ideal idea. I think it's ridiculous that we've all spent 3, 4, 5 decades watching films, whether it's Aliens, whether it's Predator, whether it's Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, Jason, and for decades, all of us, we sit and we watch these films with ensemble cast, and there's one Black person. Like, how fucking ridiculous is that we let that keep happening? Because we let it keep happening. We let it keep happening. Because like I said, we all have the same 24 hours as everybody else, right? There's a bunch of independent filmmakers. There's no excuses anymore. The white folk ain't keeping cameras from us. You know what I mean? We can all get a camera. We can stop buying Jordans 3 times and get us a fucking dope camera. You know what I mean? We can hire our friends and pay them. We can do it, right? The white man not keeping you from you know what I mean? It's not, that's not what's happening anymore. But yet we sit for decades and decades and decades, and we sit and we watch these films, like, you know, good Black folk, and we watch the ensemble cast, and it's all white, and there's one Black person and he gets killed. Like, how long are we gonna fucking do that shit? But I'm coming. Y'all gonna see.
So you're looking at there's some Black horror films. You're looking at I wouldn't consider Get Out and again us horror films. I would consider.
I know, and he said that too, right? Didn't Jordan Peele say like, "Oh, it's not a horror"?
Yeah, they're like
they were categorizing it a certain way.
Yeah,
or comedy or something. I think I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments knows, but they were categorizing it a certain way. He was like, "No, that's not what it is."
No, what's the name is Candyman is definitely a horror film. It's something that you need to see.
I'm gonna watch it. I'll put it in my homework. But I'm already telling you, I don't like the plot, but I'll watch it.
Right.
I'll watch it.
So what other Black? I'm trying to think. Anybody know like the other Black horror films that I made out that people made like outside of Candyman?
Does anybody watching know of a Black horror film aside from Candyman? Does anyone watching know?
No.
I'm waiting. Rock White says, we should stop saying get a camera because that is not the barrier to making quality film. Listen, Rock White, I don't give a rat's if it's a good quality film, if it's a bad quality film, if it's a film you're going to dig. Because let me tell you something. White people have been making films, okay, forever. And whether they're good quality films or not, or Oscar-winning screenplays, they put films out. So yes, get a camera, okay? Get a camera and shoot your film. So I'm gonna keep saying it, get a camera, okay? Because they've been putting out films forever and they don't give a flying rat's ass whether we think it's quality or not, okay? Because I've seen the most horrible white productions, and they are in the fucking AMC, okay? They are at the Regal. So yes, I'm gonna keep saying get a camera, because here's the thing: that art thing, it's subjective. It's subjective. So there's gonna be a lot of people that like your work and a lot of people that don't like your work. That is life. But that's another thing I noticed, right? That we as people of color, we can't handle when people don't like our work. They're haters, right? They don't know what they're talking about. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong? Like, we're so fucking insecure as a gente, as a people. We're so fucking insecure, right? And that's something that I've always admired about you, director Mark Harris, is that I was shocked. You were one of the first people I had ever seen post your bad fucking reviews. I'd never seen that before you. I had never seen that before you. And I was like, is he serious? And you had me scrolling. I was like, oh shit. And people were ripping you to shreds. And you put, that was the first thing I noticed from your page, right? And then you post the good shit. But the fact that you were not insecure or afraid to show this is art and people gonna like it or people not gonna like it. And look how successful you've been. Look how many films you've put out. And that is the key. White people do their films. They're not thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have haters. They're not thinking that shit. They just keep putting out work and keep putting out work and keep putting out work. We're so fucking insecure. Like the other day I saw on fucking Facebook, this guy put out what I thought was a horrible track, a music track, right? It was called Let Me See Them Titties, Girl. Basic stripper song. You know what I mean? Two Live Crew, Yin Yang Twins type of shit, right? I thought it was garbage, but all his friends liked it, right? But art is, you put it out, whatever. And he was like, so what he did was, one person told him, this shit is trash. A kid could have wrote it, right? And why are you degrading women? This motherfucker literally got on Facebook and rallied his friends to go and attack the dude. Rallied his friends. Was like, oh shit, we got a hater. Let's get on them. It's like we're so fucking insecure. Some people are gonna like your shit and some people aren't. Get over it and keep pushing. How many directors have I watched and they put out trash and then I watch the next film that they do? We're so fucking insecure. Everybody's not gonna like you. Everybody doesn't have to like you, but keep putting out your work. Keep putting out your work. So, I'm sorry, Rock White. Yes, you got to get a camera. He said, I like how she does my voice. I'm sorry, Rock. That's my generic man voice. I only have one generic man voice. And men hate it, but I'm like, that's how I see y'all. That's how I hear y'all. Like, yo, I try to put the bass in it. I try to put as much bass as I could. I'm sorry.
So I have a question, right? Have you seen Blair Witch, the Blair Witch Project?
I did.
That's another example where they just picked up a camera and just went out and they did it and they shot it.
And I hated it. I hated it
too. Yeah.
I hated it, but it got so fucking famous. Like that shit, woo. I hated it. I was like, what am I watching? You know, but they said, fuck it, I'm taking my camera. Somebody's gonna like it. Yeah. Somebody's gonna like it. I hate it. I hated us. You know how many people liked us? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like, you gotta keep, I mean, if we learn anything from freaking Tyler Perry, if we learned anything from you, sir, it's like, I'm gonna put my work out and either you gonna get with it or get gone, and it's okay. It is okay. But we have to get out of that mindset of, hey, here come the haters. Like, get out, stop being so fucking insecure. You know what I'm saying? I'm putting my work out. And either you're going to catch me on Netflix or Hulu or Vudu or UMC and you're going to dig it, or you're going to tear me up on your social media. Either way, you're talking about me. Just please spell my name right so people know where to find me. Spell my name right so people know where to find me. You know what I'm saying? Like, we too insecure.
Right. He said he was agreeing with you.
Oh, he said I was agreeing. I meant it should not be an excuse for filmmakers that they don't have a camera.
Right. So you're right. I think you're saying that shouldn't be an excuse for filmmakers not to make films. The fact they don't.
I got you. Okay, I see what he's saying. Right, because a lot of people are like,
you create a horror film, chopping heads off.
Huh?
Creating a horror film and chopping heads off.
But I put the heads back on. I put the heads back on. My bad. I thought you were saying stop telling people that, as in stop telling like that's all it takes to make a film. No, I got you. No, yeah, definitely. That's not an excuse. Absolutely not. You could do what you want. We've spent, you know what I mean, trillions of dollars on bullshit. So we could spend a trillion more to change history. But I'm not even gonna lie. Like a lot of shit doesn't shock me. You know, mama done been through some things. I've seen a lot of things. But one thing that does shock me is that so many people have access to create and they don't. That's still shocking.
Why does that shock you though?
It shocks me a lot because now it's so easy to do, right? Versus just sitting back and complaining. So that shocks me because I'm like, back in the day, you know what I mean? Like maybe, I don't know, 30 years ago or 35 years ago. I'm a little older than most, but 35 years ago, I would have never imagined that, we can go out and get a little 7D and get our little friends together. And I would have never thought of it because in my mind, white Hollywood was so big. I was like, this shit's impenetrable. We can't, look at the power, right? That shit is so fucking old school. Nobody gives a fuck anymore, right?
I think that's what keeping a lot of people from making movies. And again, like even
what is
that they're too busy trying to break into a system instead of just creating. Like when you just steady trying to break into, you have the screenplays and you don't want to go out and produce them because you're afraid. And it's just, you use that as an excuse. Like horror films are really, really, really are good sellers. You know what I'm saying? And those are some of the films that you could make and you don't need big names or you don't need star power to go out and get those made. And if the sound quality is good and the production is pretty decent and the acting doesn't even have to be great. You can get some type of distribution for your film.
Listen, okay, so with that said, great segue. I'm gonna give y'all some tangibles for whoever's watching. I'm gonna give y'all some tangibles. The first 5 or 6 films I was in, the first independent 5 or 6 films I was in, it was a white writer-director, okay? And I was trying to have him on a panel, but I don't think he wants to discuss this because then it's putting him on the spot, so he declined. I did ask him to come on. So I was lead in like 5 or 6 of his hood horror films. And when I tell you hood horror films, I mean people like low budget. This shit had no budget. Okay? This shit had no budget. Okay? I was on set mixing, true story, cranberry sauce to make it look like blood, right? We were putting goop on sausages and chicken breasts to make it look like that's what the zombies were eating. I'm talking about no budget. Most locations were people's houses or favors or people's cars. Now this man did about 5 or 6 films. All the films ended the letter Z. You can see them on IMDb, so you know I'm not bullshitting. And every single film he put out had some of the worst acting I've ever seen, had some of the worst special effects I've ever seen. He got distribution for every single one. As a matter of fact, one of the worst ones was he got Lionsgate, okay, to distribute that film. So there is no excuse. Now, this white man knew the value of an all-black cast out in the hood running from some fake zombies. This white man knew that. And every single film, he had a film called Bloods versus Wolves with the Z at the end, right? And they were warring against each other, right? Bloods versus Wolves. And I was one of the Bloods because I was a vampire. So it's basically like a bootleg underworld. But just to give you some tangibles, here's a white man who didn't have a budget, didn't have big name actors. Half of the actors were really bad, and he got distribution for every single film that he did. All the corny ass horror films. If you was to watch these films, you would be like, nah, he didn't get this. The films were in Blockbuster Video, okay? You can still purchase the films. He re-released them. He called me recently, and I was in my 20s. So we're talking about 20 years ago or so. He called me recently. He called me recently to ask me for up-to-date pictures of myself. And I was like, why? He was like, because I'm re-releasing these films. He re-released them corny ass films. So that goes to show you, if you really, really want to do something, you can do it. Because he did it with $0. But he got distribution. So get your hustle up. So let's see an all-black ensemble cast with that one token white girl. Let's kill her first, people. There you go. You wrong. You wrong. You wrong.
Look.
You wrong for that. See, I wasn't lying. They're out there. They're all out there. And dig this. You know what was so amusing about that era for me, right? That those are some of the, by far, some of the worst productions I've been a part of. But you know what was so amusing? All the white boys, all the college white boys that found me on social media. And were
MySpace?
Huh?
MySpace?
No, on Facebook.
Okay.
Yeah, remember, Facebook's been around like 11 years now. But, it just surprised me that a bunch of drunk, high white boys would inbox me like, yo, I just saw you on Bloods versus Wolves. I just saw you on Zombies. So never think that there's not an audience for what you put out. There's always an audience. There's always an audience, right? No matter how bad you think something, I've seen the worst of the worst shit, and they have a cult following. And I'm like, y'all like that film?
Sharknado.
Sometimes shit is so corny that it's good.
Look, they called me and said, you want to direct the episode of Sharknado? I would direct the episode of Sharknado just for the fun.
I'd be in that episode of Sharknado. I'd be dodging the sharks.
Just for the fun of it. I'm sure they have a lot of fun directing those shows, those movies.
Yeah. We're really, come on. We survived fucking slavery. We could shoot a film. We could shoot a fucking film. You know what I'm saying? We survived slavery. We're still dealing with systemic oppression every single day we walk out our house. You know what I'm saying? So we could shoot a film, people. You know what I'm saying? We could shoot a damn film. So yeah, no, and it's funny, but the first 5 or 6 films I did were all horror films. So yes, there is a fucking, there's a what do you call it?
Demographic.
Yeah, for that. There is. Like, I was like, who the hell is watching these films? But the white boys in college.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You said what now? You
got distribution for all of them.
Yeah, absolutely. And also the thing is that you can release them yourself and make money. Like, you can release a horror film. The good thing about a horror film is that if you release it at the proper time with some decent artwork and you put it on like Amazon, and there's so many people who are getting high and watching movies, and they're gonna get high watching movies, and it's pretty entertaining. They're gonna continue to watch it. You make money off of it.
The movie Zombies that I did with a Z at the end, because every movie that man put out had a Z at the end, right? So I guess that makes it more urban when you put a Z at the end.
Yeah.
And the movie Zombies, this guy, I don't know how high he was, but you could find it online. He took a picture of my ass every time I ran away. And he has an entire collage of the entire film and every time I ran away. Every time I ran away, there's a fucking collage. And I'm like, okay, how high were you? You know what I'm saying? But they're out there. There are people that like these cheesy, corny films. It's just their thing. And, some people rip the film to shreds. And I was like, you know what I mean? It's like, that's what happens with art. For some reason, we can't accept when people don't like us. I don't give a fuck. You don't like me. Where's my check? Did the check clear? Can I get to the damn bank? You could not like me on my way to the damn bank, lady. You know what I'm saying? So
is it
creative? Let's do a horror film.
You said what?
Let's do a horror film.
Right. Let me ask you this. What is your favorite horror film of all time?
I don't know if it's considered horror. I like, I like the Predator and Aliens. That's not a horror film, right?
Yeah, it's kind of science fiction. But...
Oh yeah, that's true. That is science fiction. All right, my favorite horror films. I would say it's between. I'm thinking about what I used to watch growing up, and I can tell you what scared me, what left the impact after I saw it. Where I was like, you know what I mean? I think a good horror film, when you go home, whatever, if you're still looking around, you know what I'm saying? That's a good horror film, right? Because we can watch horror films and be like, oh, whatever. But I say the films that made me like, after I got home was Nightmare on Elm Street was creepy. That stayed with me. And also The Exorcist stayed with me. That shit, when you're dealing with anything that has to do with demons or the devil.
But you don't believe in God, so how did that scare you?
I was a kid. I didn't believe in God back then. I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute.
So I was going along about what my, parents had taught me. So that was scary as fuck. Now The Exorcist wouldn't scare me like, when I was a kid. But let me tell you something. It would scare a bajillion people because everybody's scared of the devil. So it would still scare people out of their wits today.
That's what happened with what happened with Jaws. When it came out, people were afraid to go to the beach. And when Psycho came out, a lot of women were scared to take showers. They would start taking showers once a week.
Oh well, I guess I'm getting
that's when horror films work.
Right.
That's when they work.
I mean, The Exorcist was terrifying. Absolutely.
It was.
I mean, they hit it on the head. That shit.
But do you think there can be a black movie, right, made in the lines of like an Exorcist and it be believable?
Yeah, absolutely.
You think so?
I think so. I think, let me tell you, you know why I think it'd be even more successful than The Exorcist?
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why.
I would like this theory.
It would trump The Exorcist. You know why? Because ain't nobody more prayed up and God fearing than black men and black women. No other race or ethnicity on the planet. Name somebody else who's that scared.
I won't say black man.
Black who?
I won't say black man.
You gonna say black men?
No, we not 85% of the. I know this is another sub. 85% of those who go to church in the black church are black women.
What about all the black men that be in there?
There's 85%. Well, you have 15%, but 85% of women, black women, make up 85% of the black church.
I think that if you were to make a horror film, right, you could probably get, if it's along the lines of The Exorcist and God and all of that shit, you'd probably get Tyler Perry's whole crowd. You know what I mean? Because they're very religious.
Right. That's the thing is, the thing is that, but like when it comes to a party like the Christian community, they may want to stay away from them. I don't want to see that demon stuff. That stuff is evil. I want to see no demons. Like among the Jehovah's Witnesses, right? They don't watch. They wouldn't watch The Hobbit and all that kind of stuff because they don't believe in watching those type of films. So you have people who are
okay. So what if you wrote it? It's all about the trailer, isn't it? What if you wrote it?
It would be a comedy. You see a little black girl 10 years old, bombing girl green stuff. You're like,
but you can't do it the exact same way.
You're like, what the hell is this?
You can't do it the exact same way, right? But what if you went directly and wrote it around the church, right? Where it's kind of like this man or this woman who's prayed up and they're looking for somebody who's God-fearing, right? Because that's where they told them to go to church, right? To find somebody. And then they find somebody and that motherfucker's possessed and all kinds of shit starts happening.
Oh, sort of like you ever seen To Sleep with Anger? So this old film is directed by Charles Burnett with Danny Glover, but it's sort of like a movie based off superstition, and it was doing like how black people the church, and he came and he just caused hell. Oh, you know what's another good movie, a black horror film? Well, it's really not. It's The Serpent and the Rainbow. That is amazing.
Oh,
That's
see, that one worked.
yeah, that worked.
And
Yeah.
that was not evil.
Huh? Yeah, that worked. That's a classic.
Oh my god, I still remember. He was like culebras. He had like snakes in his stomach and shit. That was creepy as hell.
Yeah.
That was
Because that dealt with voodoo though.
mm-hmm.
And it was filmed, I think it was filmed in either New Orleans or Haiti. But
Jimmy Smith's. I remember.
Yeah.
Clearly. I remember clearly. And or you could even do, and we've seen this plot a million times, but we've never seen it with a black family. I think it would be really, really cool. Is when them families all happy go lucky and they adopt that kid they think is perfect, and the kid turns out to be a little demon. Like one of those would work too.
Oh, somebody asked you about Chucky.
I thought Chucky was funny. Chucky didn't scare me. It was more funny because it's like watching a little person run around. I can't say midget, I know, but it's like watching a little person run around, and it's like, I don't know. When I saw Chucky, the only thing that ran through my mind is I'll kick this little motherfucker into, you know what I mean? So it wasn't.
Chucky's from Chicago now.
Chicago. It wasn't as scary as like Krueger with them blades and shit, like, or Michael Myers with that knife. Like, you have to give your villain something. Chucky was just like a little wild mother. Like, you just wanted to like get the fuck, you know what I mean? Like, you need something intimidating. And Chucky didn't do that for me. I thought it was hilarious though. It was entertaining, but I wasn't scared of it. I was entertained by it. Yep. For sure.
Malcolm said you could do a horror movie based off of greed. I would think, which I wouldn't necessarily maybe call it a horror movie. That's another one of those psychological thrillers. But The Devil's Advocate.
Oh, that was so good. That was so good. I'm still practicing that monologue. I love. You don't understand how.
At the when we actually.
I love that monologue. And I want to hear it in a woman's voice, how she would do it. And that's why I'm studying it. But yeah, then one, he's an absentee landlord. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, but don't swallow. Oh my God, that monologue is everything. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, you could. I mean, it can be done. We took the long way to say that. Yes, I believe very much so. It can't be done. We just can't be scary about it. But I think it could be done, and it could be realistic. We just have to, like I said, we got two choices. Either we're gonna make it realistic, where a lot of the cast is throwing bows because that's how we do, or you're gonna make everybody square like Jordan Peele does. But it can be done.
But you want to consider his film to be horror films though? Because I hated the black dude in Us.
So why? You thought he was corny?
He was weak. Like, he was weak. I hated the black dude.
But he had to make him weak for it to work.
No.
He had to make him weak so
make the woman strong.
He had to make him weak so it could work for the audience he was going after.
Right, the black woman who bought them tickets.
I was thinking white people.
You think white people?
Absolutely, because first of all, is he not married to a white woman? So I think when you want to get a lot of, why is Will Smith so fucking famous and successful, right? He's a great actor. I mean, he's not Denzel, but he's a good actor. But he's one of the most agreeable, happy, cuddly Negroes there ever was, right? So that we can't front and act like that's not a huge part of Will Smith's success, right? Well, white people love going to see him because he's so non-threatening and he's a little caramel colored, black man. So I think Jordan Peele, he's smart, knowing to make the lead black man big and buff, but agreeable and square, white people are going to feel okay about going to see that if they see that in the trailer. Right? They're gonna be like, oh, okay, this like my black friend that I have at work. I'll go see this film. He's smart. He's dumb. He's smart. He knows you got to make the lead. Even in Get Out, even in Get Out, the guy was like, "What is going on?" You know what I mean? He wasn't confrontational. So, and Jordan Peele's not, he ain't no idiot. He knows that appeals to a white audience, right? And there you have it.
You think anything wrong with that?
Do I think there's anything wrong with that? Look, in my age now, I'm like, get it how you live. If that's how you want to make money, if that's how you want to make success, like be successful. Like, I don't got to take care of his family. He got to take care of his family. And if he feels like that's the way to take care of his family, then, you know, go take care of your family. I mean, bitches are clapping ass to take care of their family. So I can't look at Jordan Peele and be like, oh, that's wrong for you to write that. I mean, chicks are sliding down poles to feed their kids. So I'm like, however you want to do it, do it. Doesn't mean I have to like it. Doesn't mean I have to buy a ticket for it. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean that I can't say publicly I don't like it. You know, do it, get it how you live. I'm just going to be writing, creating different shit. There's room for everybody. So am I a fan of the agreeable Negro? No, but it works for Hollywood.
The Black Dracula movies, like Vampire in Brooklyn.
That to me was corny as she was corny. Was that a comedy? Did that fall under comedy?
It was a comedy. It was a comedy.
That was.
Well, it was directed by Wes Craven, though.
Really?
Yes.
That's a shocker.
But wow. Eddie Murphy. But you have Eddie Murphy. So you partner Eddie Murphy with Wes Craven, who even though
Vampire in Brooklyn.
Right, with Vampire in Brooklyn. Well, it was written by Eddie and his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other Black horror films that's out?
I can't think of any. Are there any Black horror films that are out, guys, that we know from our youth or anything?
But
most of how long we've been watching white people.
You have to watch Children Under the Stairs.
Let me write that down. I'm gonna watch Children Under the Stairs and that other crap, Candyman.
Candyman.
You gonna make me watch some damn Candyman? Children Under the Stairs and Candyman. I will watch it.
It was really good.
Bold. Is Candyman kind of like along the lines of like Stephen King's It?
Candyman?
Mm-hmm.
No. Candyman, no. It's not. It's different story. But he comes back. The first one. Watch the first one. He comes back. He's a slave. He comes back. And you may not, I don't know. You may, like people who are like radical and militant, they take your position on it.
I already know how I'm gonna feel, but if you want me to watch it, I'll watch it.
But I like it. I like it. I try to escape. I try to,
Why do you like it?
Why do I like it? Because it's a
black lead.
Who said what?
Is it a black lead in a horror film?
No, probably so. Probably so. Yeah. I'm almost sure that's the reason. But it's good.
Black people in the projects.
Huh?
He's killing black people in projects.
He's killing black people. You have to watch it. He's not killing black people.
Okay.
I'm telling you, you got to watch it.
I'll watch it.
So that is. So have you seen The Serpent in the Rainbow? You've seen that, right?
Of course, yes,
okay.
Yes, more than one. That was really creepy. That movie stuck with you. That dude with the green eyes, and yeah, that was creepy.
Too great. Just the actors in that movie, period, were amazing. They were all like amazing.
Oh, hey. Cobb says, I have a horror short called The Little Girl in White, which is one of 4 stories from our horror anthology. Lawrence Lee Wallace and myself wrote. I will send it to you guys. Yes, honey.
No, don't send it to me.
Why not?
Do not send.
Why? He said, do not send. You could do a horror movie. Malcolm, can you elaborate on that before we get out of here? You could do a horror movie based off of greed.
Right. So, you know, like, so, like, remember in The Devil's Advocate?
Yes.
So, right, it was sort of like it was dealing with different sins, and greed was one of them. Because he had this thirst for power.
Right. Yeah. And then the devil was fucking with him.
Right,
like,
yeah.
It's 7 o'clock.
So it's not necessarily the greed for money, but the greed for power, the ego. He was dealing with the ego.
Right, and he was fucking with him. He was like, I didn't tell you not to go to your wife. What did you say?
Exactly. The writer on that was woo.
I let me tell you, I love them.
Well, Angela, I can't. There's a reason why I told you not to send it to me.
Oh, it's a creative reason.
Yeah, it's creative reason. Not personal, it's creative reason.
Yeah, so we got okay. We got the camp. Everybody's willing and ready to work. So we go. You want us with that horror film director?
Yeah, you want to close this out?
Yes. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching and putting up with me. Okay. I'm sorry, Rock, about the voice I gave, the man voice I gave you. That's my voice for every man. I know. Thank you for watching, guys. On the Block with Jen will be on my page soon. Again.
How can we go to your YouTube? Tell us about your YouTube.
Please go to the YouTube and subscribe. Y'all are killing me. I'm gonna start putting people in the chokehold. It's on my page. Go to my page. Because right now you can't search On the Block with Jen on YouTube yet. But if you go on my page, the link is on my page. Go to my page, scroll down, be nosy, and look at the YouTube link. That is the link right there. Click on that and subscribe to that. And I hope you learned something or were inspired today. And keep writing. I always say that. Keep writing, keep creating. And that is it. And follow me On the Block with Jen, Instagram, On the Block with Jen, Facebook, On the Block with Jen, everywhere. On the Block with Jen is easy. Get to my Instagram and follow me there, and that'll direct you also. If you go to On the Block with Jen on Instagram, it's in my bio, also the YouTube, and then you can see all the shows we've already done, which are really crazy, but worth watching. So,
cool. All right.
All right, guys. Bye.